Linux is no longer just a niche operating system for developers and hackers. Linux is evolving into something much bigger, something more refined, something that is finally ready to challenge everything people thought they knew about desktop computing. And before you jump into the comments saying, AI wrote this, just know one thing clearly. Comment Mamuja, aim at Bolominic real-time human hun, because what you're about to hear is not some robotic breakdown, but a real perspective on a shift that's been quietly building for years, and is now starting to explode into the mainstream.
For the longest time, Linux had a reputation, and not always a good one. It was powerful, yes, flexible, absolutely, but also complicated, sometimes frustrating, and often dismissed by everyday users who just wanted something that works without spending hours tweaking configurations or searching through forums. But something has changed, and if you've been paying attention even slightly, you can feel it. Linux is getting a new look, and it's not just about visuals. It's about philosophy, accessibility, and a complete rethinking of what the desktop experience should be. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It's the result of years of effort by communities, developers, designers, and companies who believed that Linux could be more than just a tool for experts. They believed it could become a polished, modern, and user-friendly platform that anyone could use, and now we're seeing that vision come to life through a new generation of desktop environments and distributions that are pushing boundaries in ways that even traditional operating systems are struggling to keep up with. Take a moment to think about what most people expect from a desktop today: smooth animations, intuitive layouts, seamless app integration, consistent design language, and minimal friction when switching between tasks. For a long time, Linux desktops felt fragmented, with different environments offering wildly different experiences. But now there's a convergence happening, a focus on design consistency and usability that's bringing Linux closer to mainstream expectations while still maintaining its unique identity. One of the most noticeable changes is in the visual design. Modern Linux desktops are embracing clean aesthetics, subtle animations, and cohesive themes that rival and sometimes surpass what you see on other operating systems. Transparency effects, blur, adaptive dark modes, and fluid transitions are no longer exclusive features of proprietary systems. They are becoming standard across many Linux environments, and the best part is that they are often more customizable without sacrificing performance. But this isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling good to use. Responsiveness has improved dramatically thanks to advancements in display servers like Wayland, which is gradually replacing older systems and enabling smoother rendering, better security, and improved support for modern hardware. This shift alone is a game changer because it lays the foundation for a more consistent and reliable desktop experience across different devices. Hardware compatibility has also taken a big leap forward. There was a time when installing Linux meant worrying about drivers, especially for graphics cards, Wi-Fi adapters, and peripherals. But today, many distributions come with out-of-the-box support for a wide range of hardware, and companies are increasingly recognizing Linux as a viable platform, which means better driver support and fewer headaches for users who just want things to work. Then there's the rise of user-friendly distributions that are designed specifically for newcomers. These systems are removing the intimidation factor that used to scare people away. They offer guided installations, pre-configured environments, and software centers that make installing applications as simple as clicking a button. No more digging through terminal commands unless you actually want to, and that's a key difference. Linux is no longer forcing you into complexity. It's giving you the choice. Choice has always been Linux's greatest strength, but now it's being refined in a way that doesn't overwhelm users. Instead of throwing endless options at you, modern Linux systems are offering curated experiences that strike a balance between flexibility and simplicity. You can still customize everything if you want, but you don't have to, and that's what makes this new wave so powerful. It respects both beginners and advanced users at the same time. Another major factor driving this desktop revolution is the growing ecosystem of applications. In the past, one of the biggest criticisms of Linux was the lack of software, especially for professional use. But that gap is closing fast. Many popular applications now offer native Linux versions, and for those that don't, compatibility layers and containerized formats like Flatpak and Snap are making it easier than ever to run software without worrying about dependencies or conflicts. These packaging systems are quietly transforming how software is distributed and managed on Linux. Instead of dealing with complex dependency chains, Users can install applications that come bundled with everything they need, ensuring consistency across different systems. This not only simplifies the user experience, but also enhances security and stability, because applications are isolated from the core system. Security itself is another area where Linux has always been strong, but it's becoming even more relevant in today's world where privacy concerns are growing. Modern Linux desktops are integrating security features in ways that are both powerful and unobtrusive. Sandboxing, permissions control, and system integrity checks are becoming standard, giving users more confidence in how their data is handled without requiring deep technical knowledge. Performance is another key advantage that's becoming more visible with these new desktop experiences. Linux systems are known for being lightweight and efficient, and that hasn't changed. But now that efficiency is being combined with visual polish, creating an experience that feels both fast and modern, even on older hardware. This is something that many users are starting to appreciate as their existing devices struggle to keep up with heavier operating systems. The shift toward Linux desktops is also being fueled by broader trends in the tech industry. As more development moves toward web-based and cross-platform applications, the dependency on a specific operating system is decreasing. This means users are freer than ever to choose the platform that best suits their needs, and Linux is stepping up as a compelling option with fewer compromises than before. Developers, in particular, are finding Linux desktops increasingly attractive, not just because of the tools available, but because of the overall environment. The integration between development workflows and the operating system is seamless. And with improvements in user interface design, developers no longer have to sacrifice usability for power. They can have both in a single cohesive experience. Gaming, once considered a weak point for Linux, is also undergoing a transformation. With advancements in compatibility layers and support from major platforms, more games are becoming playable on Linux than ever before. And while it's not yet perfect, the progress is undeniable, and it's contributing to the growing perception that Linux can be a complete desktop solution, not just a specialized tool. Another interesting aspect of this revolution is the role of community-driven innovation. Unlike traditional operating systems that are controlled by a single company, Linux evolves through collaboration. This means new ideas can emerge from anywhere, and the best ones can be adopted and refined quickly. This dynamic environment is leading to rapid experimentation and improvement, which is exactly what we're seeing with these new desktop designs. At the same time, companies are starting to invest more in Linux desktop development, recognizing its potential not just as a server platform, but as a consumer-facing product. This combination of community passion and corporate support is creating a powerful momentum that's pushing Linux into new territory. The concept of a desktop itself is also evolving, and Linux is uniquely positioned to adapt to these changes, with support for different form factors. From traditional desktops to laptops to hybrid devices, Linux can provide a consistent experience across a wide range of hardware, and as user expectations shift toward more fluid and flexible computing environments, this adaptability becomes a major advantage. Customization remains a core part of the Linux experience, but it's becoming more accessible. Instead of requiring deep technical knowledge, many modern systems offer graphical tools that allow users to tweak their environment with ease. Themes, layouts, extensions, and behaviors can be adjusted without touching a single line of code, making personalization a natural part of the experience rather than a barrier. This new look of Linux is not just about catching up with other operating systems, it's about redefining what a desktop can be. It's about giving users control without overwhelming them, offering beauty without sacrificing performance, and delivering power in a way that feels intuitive rather than intimidating. As more people begin to explore these new Linux desktops, perceptions are starting to change. What was once seen as a complicated alternative is now being recognized as a viable, even preferable option for many use cases. And this shift in perception is perhaps the most important part of the revolution, because technology adoption is as much about mindset as it is about features. There are still challenges, of course. No system is perfect, and Linux desktops are no exception. Compatibility issues can still arise. Certain specialized software may not be available, and the sheer diversity of options can still be confusing for some users, but the gap is closing, and the rate of improvement suggests that these challenges will continue to diminish over time. What makes this moment particularly exciting is that it feels like a tipping point, A moment where everything is coming together: the technology, the design, the ecosystem, and the user interest are all aligning in a way that hasn't happened before for Linux desktops. And when that kind of alignment occurs, it often leads to rapid growth and widespread adoption. For anyone who hasn't looked at Linux in a while, now is the time to take another look, because what you'll find is not the same system you remember. It's something more refined, more approachable, and more capable than ever before. It's a platform that's not just keeping up with the competition, but in some ways setting new standards. And as this desktop revolution continues to unfold, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Linux is no longer just an alternative. It's becoming a serious contender in the world of personal computing, and the changes we're seeing now are just the beginning. The foundation is being laid for a future where Linux desktops are not just an option, but a default choice for many users around the world. This is not hype. It's a transformation that's been years in the making, and now it's finally reaching a point where it can't be ignored. Linux is getting a new look, but more importantly, it's getting a new identity, one that blends power, flexibility, and usability into a cohesive experience that feels ready for the modern era. And whether you're a developer, a gamer, a student, or just someone looking for a better desktop experience, this is something worth paying attention to, because the revolution has already begun, and it's only going to get bigger from here.